So, today's sort of been like Christmas for the carry, because I've managed to pick up, I think I said in my last video, my front wheel at the moment is got cracks in it. Just around here, there's some real deep cracking in the tyre. All the other ones seem to be fine, but for some strange reason it's just that wheel. I've managed to contact the other 9th gen carry owner in Norfolk, which I knew he had already previously swapped his wheels, so I was wondering if he still had his stock ones, which in fact he did. So, made him an offer and he accepted it, so I've got his old wheels. Sadly these are for a earlier model, Sony 4x114, whatever the Japanese fitment is. Mine, because of it being a later model, it's 4x100. So hopefully later on in this video I'll be getting 2 of these switched over, so both the fronts are on the same, and then I'll keep the other 2 just as spares. I'll keep hold of the rims because I think I may use them at some point. And the other thing I ended up getting from him is its old rear axle. So I'll insert a photo here or wherever, but he has swapped his carry over to the 1.3 litre UK version engine, and then has also swapped the rear axle over to a Suzuki Jimny rear axle. So in doing that, he's had to shorten the drive shaft on it to make it all work. So he said this is pretty much useless to him, because if he was ever to put it back in the truck, he would need to source another drive shaft. So he says, instead of throwing it in the bin, if I had any use for it, I was more than welcome to take it. So I've got a spare rear axle. I believe it's a unlocked one. I don't think it has diff lock installed, but because of it being 4x1, whatever the Japanese fitment is, I may be able to switch the entire shafts and the hubs and put them onto mine, which then means at some point in the future, if I get the front hubs, I'll be able to get some vintage Japanese rims for it, which would be nice. And because I said it's almost like Christmas today for this truck, I have this box. That box contains all the brake caliper or brake drums and whatever for that axle. But this box came from America within a day and a half, which was stupidly fast, like by our posted standard. I've already taken all the fill out of it. So, new water pump, because I believe its next service it'll be needing a new water pump and timing belt. So also got a timing belt, and I don't know if I posted it, or I definitely know I didn't make a video of it, but I recently just had to replace the carburetor, so insert all glam shots here. When I replaced the carburetor, and they ended up finding another problem, that the vacuum advance for the distributor had gone bad. So thankfully, thank you G&R Imports over in America, they have a wrecker's yard and they managed to salvage this one for me, which I hopefully it will work on this truck. Also, I know we done the fuel lines when we did the carburetor, but a proper fuel filter for it, because I just put a generic filter on. And there's also a couple of little goodies in the bag for me. There was 2 of these, but like as you can see, I've already opened it. So one's already on my set of keys, some pens, and big box for last. 2 brand new sets of rear tail lights, because the tail lights which are on it at the moment, they do look a little bit dull on camera, and they seem quite dark, but all this plastic, white plastic around it, it's just brittle as fuck. So thankfully, brand new parts. I'm going to switch it out at some point, and thankfully Chloe's dad managed to solve the wiring issue we were having with this light here, because whoever wired in the fog light, because UK laws we need fog lights on them, whoever wired the fog light in absolutely butchered the harness. So because of it being mounted, because of the fog light being mounted to the frame, they had actually cut into the quick release side of the harness, so the bit you should unclip and then be able to lift the bed off. So that made it a pain in the ass to do the carburetor. So he's redone it for me, and it's all nicely wired into the other side of the harness, so before the clip. So hopefully they should just be as simple as unclipping, unbolting, put new ones in, clip back together, and done. I believe I did have a little look inside. There is actually bolts coming off them, which is very, very nice, because bloody God knows what bulbs you actually need for it. So one other thing I got for it is in this box here. Stupidly unsuspecting box, but stupidly heavy. So this is some sound deadening in here that we are planning to line the ceiling with before we put foam in and then upholster the ceiling in the same fabric as what we've done with the door cards. It's just to try and stop the rattle a little bit. And I think we may end up putting some on the front wall, maybe on the outside or in, I don't know, some on the seats, and then probably a little bit on the behind the seats, because that is, it's a little bit noisy, don't know really. So that's the plans for that. I think I need to get all of this unloaded now.
The next day.